Oh, I'll probably have to get off the phone. Yeah, maybe it's live. I don't know. I guess I'll find out in a minute. Okay, thank you. All right, bye.
Yeah, we are live.
Did it come up?
Oh, it's on Facebook.
Did it update? Okay, cool.
Oh, you all on the phone.
Sorry, guys. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Tanisha. Ooh, hello. Please come in. It is. Oh, yeah. Oh. I feel like my nose is like bright. Anyway. Yes, please come on in. Come on in. This evening it will be Asia and I, and then we will have a couple of things that he had to take care of tonight. So I have my co-host in with me. So I am Shanika, and this is my co-host, Asia Bell. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
I'm glad you're here.
Yes. You share it.
Yes, please share it. Please go ahead and share. I am going to try to make sure I see everyone's comments. Usually Will is the one that is working this, but I am going to learn how to do it. Thanks for joining, everyone. Make sure you continue to share down at the bottom and we will get started. We're already just a few minutes behind because I just had to figure out how to do everything, but we are here nevertheless. We just have some hot topics that we're going to cover and get through. So I'm super excited about that. And I definitely want to hear from you all. So I hope that you all are ready to talk after being quarantined for almost a week and a half. I definitely hope that you all are ready to add in your
Let's take pictures and put it on my frame.
Your 2 cents. So was that Facebook that you pulled that up on?
What?
Or was it?
Oh, I posted it on Instagram.
Right, but hello. Thanks for joining. Come on in. Oh, I'm trying to figure out why it hasn't updated yet. Oh, there it is. Okay. Got my little flip going in the back. Hello. Please post up where you are tuning in from. I would really just love to know, guys. Really love to know where you all are tuning in from. All right. So once again, if you're just now joining, please go ahead and continue to share. This evening, it will be myself and my co-host, Asia Bell. Will had a couple of things that he had to take care of this evening because, of course, you all know that in Virginia, the governor has mandated that we service workers close our doors as of today. Oh, well, as of tonight, it will be tonight. And so he had a couple of things that he had to take care of prior to doing that. So, needless to say, I am here, and I'm here with my lovely daughter in Asia. So, for those of you all who do not know her, this is her, Asia Bell, and we are going to go ahead and get started. So, how are you feeling being home?
It's actually it's not really hitting that we're not going back to school yet. But I have my first online classes. Well, not my first online classes, but my first like virtual video chat classes on Monday.
Okay.
It was interesting.
Okay. And I didn't mean for that to be as big as it is, but okay, it's okay.
Trying. I know I do it. I can't even do it. Anyway, there I am.
Okay, and so how did you feel about it?
I don't know. I don't know. It was just weird. It was weird.
Okay.
It was weird because I didn't anticipate. Like at first it was like, okay, extended spring break. I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna be back after school after 2 weeks. And then halfway through extended spring break, they was like, oh yeah, psych, you ain't going back to school at all. See y'all next semester.
Okay, so that was actually a big shocker for me. Even though I think that Asia and I have a really good relationship, it was a shocker for me for her to say that she would not be returning to school and that she would be home. And then when it came down that even public school was out for a couple of weeks, like I was anticipating that. I was anticipating for her to be home for a couple of weeks. But then when it came down, like I said, the pipeline that number one now public schools closed for the next academic year, and then she will not be returning to school, um, was a little daunting at first because I'm like, okay, so how is that going to work? I mean, although both of her classes are online, it was still like, okay, for everybody else whose situation is not of that caliber, how is that going to affect them and even students who are in public school? So, but I guess that there is a plan in place, and I hope that it is, and that from that it will actually work itself out. Um, so Tanisha said that she has cabin fever. So are you doing anything? Are you even just kind of going outside, right outside your house? If there's anybody else up here, because we have like five viewers, we have five viewers up here. So what are you all doing during this time? I know it's hard to go out places, although I feel like people are not adhering to that, and people are just out and about, out and about, out and about, and not really taking heed to staying home or not being out in stores unless you absolutely have to, and things like that. So what are some of the things that you all are doing outside of being in the house? Because I know some of that's pretty much about what it has come to, is just staying in the house. So Tanisha says, cleaning, updating my resume. The kids go out for an hour and take showers as soon as they come in. Yeah, and I think I almost felt like for a second I was like, if this is what jail feels like, you never have to worry about me going to jail. Yeah, no, because this is, yeah, it's like being out. Okay, you get an hour of being out on the yard, and then you have to come back inside, and I'm just like, wow, okay. But at any rate, that's kind of how I feel about that. I wish I can see other people who are up. I'm not sure how to. Okay, so yeah, that's how I feel about that situation. So what about you? Do you feel like sometimes you just really need to just get out?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. I mean, and it's crazy because like at school, I was like, I'm in a lot of organizations. Well, not I won't say a lot of organizations, but I'm in um the activities program board at my school. So we host a lot of events. So I was like, in a sense, forced to leave my room. So I was always out doing stuff with that. And then I'm also an RA, so I was always out, talking to other RAs in the building or sitting in the housing office. So it's like I was always out. So like even though I like to be in my room, I was still being forced out. So I wasn't in my room as often as I am now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard. Ain't gonna lie, it's hard, especially not interacting with people and your friends. Like you really don't realize how much you miss your friends till you can't see them.
Right, right. Okay. Hey, Kiara, thanks for joining. Um, so how are you all communicating? I know we won't stay on this long, but so how are you finding a way to communicate with your friends?
Well, my APB crew, we have a group chat, so we just be sending messages here and there. And then I talk to a few of my RA friends, and then my friends outside of my jobs, we text here and there too.
Okay. Okay. And I know that you and I we were on just to kind of stay entertained. Like, I don't know if some of you all were to catch the gentleman, the DJ Nice, on Instagram the other day, and he did this live DJing concert, if you will, online, and I was on there. I mean, it was all kind of people. It was like, they say he got up to like 100 and something thousand people that were up there watching. So I and listening to his music, and I was up there, and I was just amazed. And then I did the replay of Anthony Hamilton's concert that he did on Instagram, and then last night, well, this morning, I might as well say, Erica Badu did a concert that she charged $1 for, and then I did hear that was that was awesome. So there are some things that you could do, and there are people who are giving concerts. And I think someone said that Lauren Hill also did a concert.
Oh, really?
The Lauren Hill did a concert, and I think that also John Legend also, I think he did a concert as well. So, there's things that you can do and follow up to, not to just be on social media, just to be, but there are people who are giving concerts that are very good, and you could just let it play while you're doing other things. Kiara says, yes, stuck with the kids. I'm losing my mind. Not laugh aloud. Too much female energy. Laugh aloud. Tanisha says that's the part that's getting me the most. No interactions with other people, specifically adults. Patrice says today was my first official day being home. Took a long nap, then got outside with Brooklyn. Oh, and then Tanisha says Debbie Allen is doing dance lessons. Okay. So there's a lot of things that you could do that are online, and some things are free. And but I mean, it wasn't just $1 to watch Erica Badu's. And I caught somebody posted it and posted her doing one song, I think, on on Instagram, and I thought, okay, wow, like maybe that was, but it was just so late that she did it, that I just couldn't stay awake to watch it. But yeah, just catch on Instagram. People will be posting things that they're doing, and you can follow that. And I'll definitely be looking out for the Debbie Allen thing. But I want to go ahead and jump right into our topics of the evening. And I really want you all to join in, and let's really get into a hard discussion about some of my questions, because I think that this is your time, this adult interaction that you have missed and want to interact with somebody. And if you actually want to come up, I can't even say that because I don't know how to let you all up there. Yeah, maybe I can. Maybe I can figure out how to do it. But at any rate, we're going to jump right into our questions. All right. So our first question is this. It was said that we can expect to see a rise in depression, alcoholism, and domestic abuse during this time of quarantine. People are eating more in close quarters longer and being laid off of their jobs. Do you think it is more important to take care of your body, physical health, or your mind, mental health during this time? What do you say? What do you think? What do y'all think? Make sure you tune in. I
think that, well, I do want to say that both is important. Both are important. But I think first, in order to even take care of your physical health, I think you have to first take care of your mental health. Because if you aren't able to self-motivate to take care of your physical health, then you aren't able to really do anything.
So you think is your physical health is what you should take your body?
Your mental.
Okay.
I'm saying because you have to be able to have enough mental health in order to like self-motivate.
Okay.
To get into working out and taking care of yourself and eating right. Because if you fall like mentally, if you're not there, I feel like you'll do whatever. You junk food and not taking care of yourself.
Okay. So take care of you.
I feel like mental health is more. I don't want to say more important, but should be, I don't know, priority maybe.
Right. Okay. Mental health, or physical health. I personally think Are you recording on that one too?
Mm,
Oh, it's recording.
no, I'm joined on there.
Facebook.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so excited that I could do that.
I'm so weak.
I
You
am.
got me.
Okay. Okay. So for me, I think that it is also important to take care of your mental health. I think that if you can, I think once you get your mental health mentally, the space that you're in, what you could do, then your physical health will follow. I think that sometimes the mental health is what slips. People are like, okay, I can't. There is being. I'm in close quarters. I'm becoming claustrophobic. I This is too much, especially if kids are home and I'm with them and they're yelling and they're screaming, they're arguing, they're fighting, they're fussing, they're hungry, they're drinking, all of this stuff. They want to get out. And mentally, you're like, I cannot take it. I cannot go to work. I don't have any other adult interaction. I can't go anywhere. I can't take these kids anywhere. And you mentally start to lose it. And then it's like, if there is no one there to kind of reel you back in, it's like, what do you do? Like, what do you do at that point? So I think that it is very important that you you definitely have to take care of your mental state first, and you have to feed your brain, and you have to realize the space that you're in and what's going to happen, even if it's down to making a schedule, so that you don't feel like you're losing it during this time. We do have some comments. Let me go back. Um, Tanisha says mental health. She also says, I think your mental health trickles down to everything else. Kiara says, I believe it. Kiara also says mental. Patrice says mind, then body. Tanisha says you have to be in your right mind. Exactly. Kiara also says then body. Amy says all are important. They both go hand in hand. I'm used to it. But I just really do think that it is important. Yes, both your mental and your physical are important. But I think that it's so easy for people to just mentally, like, I just can't. Like, it's just too much. It's stressful. I'm losing it. I just got to um, separate myself from everything that's going on. So I think that during this time we have to find ourselves mentally taking care of ourselves. And then I think that once, like you said, like once you're in a healthy state of mind, and most of you have said, once you're in a healthy mental state of mind, then you can work on, okay, I need to exercise, I need to meditate. And these are coping mechanisms. Maybe I need to read. And meditating is really good. Maybe I just need to sit and take a moment, open up a window, pull the blinds up or pull the curtains back, just let the sun, or just go outside and sit on the porch for a second, just to release and just for a quiet and relaxed moment, and then regroup and then go back in. If you have children, to take care of your children, or if you're having to work from home, if you don't have children and just you have to work, you're working from home and you're not used to being at home, just you or just your spouse or whatever the case may be. You just need to release some of that. Just walk away. Sometimes you just have to walk away, and then just, even if it's just, getting I'm not saying, and I almost hate to say this, but even if it's just to sip some wine, or people who feel like they need to, maybe never mind. But just relax yourself, and whatever that may mean to you, you just do that. Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add to that?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of some coping mechanisms that I have. Sometimes I just like to lay there. I just like to lay there in the dark sometimes and just listen to music.
Right. Right. And then there's, here lately I've been seeing this commercial where it's a little, it's rain and some trees and rain, and it just says, yes, it's the Calm app. And I think that's good. If you just lay there, have the Calm app on, and then just clear your mind and your body, just laying there with nothing, not talking to anybody, not being on the phone, not reaching for the phone, not scrolling while you're laying there, just laying there in complete silence, and then just relax yourself.
Candles, diffusers, essential oils.
Essential oils, definitely, definitely. If you are just now joining us, thank you so much. I am your host, Shanika. This is my co-host, Asia Bell. Will had some things that he had to take care of, so he is not joining us this evening. I do miss him, but I'm happy that he's taking care of the things that he needs to take care of. And if you want to comment to this question, which is more important to take care of, your mental health or your physical, please continue to answer that question as we filter through some of our other topics. And to talk about this, I definitely want to hear from you all. If you have any more comments about it, make sure you post it up there because we are reading your comments. Even if you would like to come up on the screen and talk to us, that would be awesome too. I would just invite you and come on up. Okay. All right. So let's move on to you could pick a question.
Okay, let's see.
While you're looking for a question,
okay.
Amy says, "I'll drink to that." And then she says a lava lamp and water fountains and essential oils. Absolutely, absolutely. Make sure you all continue to share.
Okay, I have a question, and I feel like it pertains to my generation of folks. So the question is, about 2 weeks ago, right in the height of the coronavirus pandemic, spring break was happening for many public schools and colleges. Despite the concerns and report cases, many people, especially the younger generation, continued with their travel plans, vacationing, hanging out with friends, etc. In the very near future, do you think that they will be in a better or worse position than ours, and why? Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
I guess the shortened version would be, despite the coronavirus pandemic,
okay, like a short.
Yeah, despite the coronavirus pandemic, many younger people are still traveling. With that, do you think that they will be in a better or worse position in the near future? I guess would be.
Okay. So so in the very near future, do you think the younger generation or the generation, which generation are you? Generation
I'm not a millennial. I'm a Gen.
Is it X or Z?
I thought it was Z, maybe.
Okay. Do you all think that all the younger, the college students who chose to go down to Miami, that caused the governor to shut down the beaches, and even though it was during spring break time and they all chose to go on vacation, even though we were kind of like at the height of it, and even now, I still see a lot of people out and a lot of people just out for no reason. I'm just like, for no, you're just out. Where do you think in the near future, do you think that that generation is going to be better or worse than the position that we are in, and why? What do you think?
No, me personally, honestly, if I'm gonna be real with y'all, I'm gonna say worse. And I think even just being like, even before all of this even happened, just being, because I'm an RA at my school, and I work with first year students. I've been working with first year students since I've been an RA, and I've been an RA for 2 years. And each generation coming in to college, they like have they don't care about anything. I just want to say that. They don't care about anything. They don't fear consequences. They don't fear authority. They're not afraid of anything. So I feel like when you have a generation who is fearless, they don't care. They're going to do whatever they want to do.
Do you think that you were ever do you think that you were ever at the point of not caring about things?
No, I don't want to say that. Like, so for me, like right now, like it's weird that like the whole country is under like this whole lockdown situation, and like the fact that this pandemic is spreading. So I mean, it kind of does like concern me, a little bit. But I feel like for me, it's just taking precaution. You know, some people not even taking precaution because they don't care. I'm concerned enough to take precautions, clean down stuff, wash my hands, stuff like that. Younger generations, they don't fear none of that. So they're not even taking the time to wash their hands. They're not even taking time to wipe down stuff. They're not taking the time to watch the news to see that it's not appropriate to be at beaches and be out at this time. And even if they did, they don't care because they, like Kiki said, YOLO, you know, people just want to have a good time. So they think they can live young and be young forever.
And I saw this video of this gentleman. I don't know if anybody else saw it. Someone had sent it to me. This guy, he was just walking around. He was in Walmart, and he's like, "I've tested positive for the coronavirus, but I need groceries, and it doesn't matter. So if you old, you need to stay at home. But if you out here, then you probably gonna get it because I got it. I don't even care because I need to get groceries." That type of mentality to me is very toxic. That type of mentality to me is selfish. That type of mentality to me is the very person who, to me, would even have even though this is not a venereal disease topic, but would have an STI and would not even tell you because he doesn't care. And I think that anybody who can be that self-centered and selfish to be out and you don't care and you're willing to infect hundreds of people, it's just disgusting to me. Just absolutely disgusting. And there's no other way to put it. But this generation is kind of scary, and this is the future, as they would say. And I don't know. I don't know why they don't take it serious. And I don't think that it is until it is affecting them or someone that they know, a parent or a grandparent, because they chose to go around these people and didn't even know that they were infected or, or exposed to the coronavirus, and then they give it to someone else, and then maybe that person really cannot fight off the virus, and then they die. Like, what will it take for people to realize, and not just the generation, but people in general who are choosing to ignore, stay at home, who are choosing to just go out and go to the store every single day and just lollygag around, and not going to the store with the purpose of getting this and coming right back home, but I'm going to this store and I'm going over here and I'm going to go hang out over here and then I'm going to do this and I'm going to this person's house. Like, that is just ridiculous. And any person, to me, and in my opinion, that are allowing outside people who do not live in your home is insane to me. I don't know how anybody and why anybody is allowing people who do not live in their home. But that's just me. Okay. We do have some comments. Kiara says, you're Gen Z. She also says probably both, because one, they don't care, which can be good and bad. She also says no fears. Amy says, by what you just said, Asia, I think Gen Z will be better because they are fearless. I think they are smart, including you, Asia, very smart.
I do think my generation, okay, so my generation, I still feel I still feel like my generation of people still had parents who were still in that era of like discipline. I feel like so like my parents. What do y'all consider?
We are not millennials, not baby boomers.
Actually, no, you are.
No, I'm not.
My professor is a baby boomer, and he's like your age. Y'all classify in that age group.
They must have changed it then.
Well, whatever generation y'all are part of, I feel like those.
I thought my mama was a baby boomer.
I thought like our grandparents were baby boomers, but I don't know. Anyway, whatever generation like my parents and people my age's parents are a part of, I feel like still did a good job at like disciplining us and making us respect authority. So I feel like you're right, Grammy, or yes, Miss Amy Jones. That my generation will be better, but I feel like after our generation, it's probably going to go downhill. I feel like our generation is full of smart, innovative people, but after us, like, and I guess being fearless is good depending on what type of situation. Yeah,
right. The extent in which you go with your fearlessness. Okay, that's how I feel. I wish I could see. Oh. Okay. I don't know how to. Okay, so Awesome. So, all right, that was good. That was good. Let's see, where are we on
Did you answer the
time?
question?
What was the question?
Um,
Oh, baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and then Gen Z. Okay.
okay, thank you, Miss Google Search.
um. Okay. Cool. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
So did you answer the question?
Did I answer the question?
How do you feel about generations to come?
Well, I haven't really. Well, yes, I have. I have experienced because I do have friends who have younger children who I think fall into the group after you.
I don't know.
Um, and I honestly, what I honestly believe it is truly about who your parents are.
I agree.
I think that if you have very lenient parents who were in the area of the era of weren't disciplined, were able to voice their opinions, didn't have any rules or regulations. My parent was my friend. Those children, and then they're raising children. Those are the children I think that we have to be concerned about. But the parents who believe in no, like you need to go on somewhere, you and your little friends, and know your little friends can't come over here and I said what I said, and you need to go on upstairs and go to bed, right? Like the no nonsense parents. I think those kids would be okay. But I have heard of people saying now that it's a lot of kids out here whose parents make them believe like they have to win at everything, and they don't allow their children to lose. Excuse me. And if they're playing games, like they let their kids win. It's like you don't win at everything in life. Like no, life is not set up that way. And you are giving your child a false impression of what life is going to be like. Because if they don't understand, if they don't get the understanding of disappointment, then that trickles into every facet of their life. So if a girl or a guy or someone tells them they're not interested or they don't want to be with them or I just want to be friends, they don't understand how to accept disappointment or no and not to take it personal. So everything for them will be personal because I'm not winning at this game called life. Nobody's going to always be a winner. There will be times where you will win, but there will be times when you lose, and when you lose, you have to step back and you have to regroup. And when you don't know how to step back and regroup, then that is when things become a problem. So I think that, I think it's really based on your parents, who your parents are.
I want to raise my kids like how I was raised.
And I think that you will. I think that you will because you understand and you see, you see the kids who may not have been raised that way and the kids who have been raised that way, and you've been raised that way. So you know that. And I don't even think that I think that you had some tough times, but I don't think you had severely tough times. But just enough for you to recognize that you can appreciate that and it wasn't abuse. It is like, okay, I can appreciate every time my friends went somewhere or every time I went somewhere, my friends weren't in the car with me. Or just because I got invited somewhere, then I didn't always get a chance to go. Or just because I wanted something, I didn't always get it. Like you can appreciate that because when you purchase or buy things yourself, or when you say, something costs $100 and something dollars, and it's like, okay, this is how much it costs, and you can sit back and say, well, that I can do without that, because then that's discipline for you. But if you don't know how to be disciplined to yourself because somebody always gave you what you want, like you think that that's how life is set up, and it's not.
Yeah, I agree. That's good stuff.
Yes. So does anyone else have any other comments? I sometimes feel like I'm always doing the most and doing the talking, but I want you. But please make sure you all continue to share. Tune in. I mean, not tune in, but comment and let me know what your feelings are about that. particular topic because I always feel like I said, I always feel like I'm talking. Um, but let's move right along to our next.
Don't forget to share.
Yes, please share and comment our next question. Let's see. All right, let's see. How would you define your role in life, and how do you think that role affects how others see you? All right. How would you define your role in life, and how do you think that role affects how others see you? And do you think that they have a high expectation of you?
You answer this question first.
Ooh. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I forget. Let's see. Where are we at? Number two, right? How would you?
I'm trying to think of how to answer this question.
Let's see.
How would you define your role in life, and how do you think that role affects?
How would you define?
How would you define your role in life?
Fine. How would you define your role in life? And
how do you think that role affects how others see you?
Affects with an A or E.
How others see you.
Let's see. For me, let's see. How would you define your role in life, and how that was supposed to say do you think that role affects how others see you?
You can edit it with the pencil.
I think how would I define my role? I think that my role I think that my role in I think that my role in life is very is very kind of like I think I play many roles. Like I play not play, but I have the role of being your mother. I have the role of being a wife. I have the role of being the wife of a master chief. I have the role of being a stylist. I have the role of being sometimes a therapist. I have the role of being a friend, a sister, a daughter. I have many roles that I play, and I think that in all of those roles, people expect something different from me, and sometimes some of those roles double up because I think that sometimes like with you, I have it's like being a parent, but also being like a borderline honest, true friend, if you will, because I think that even as a parent, like I can still play a parent role and give you things in an honest way. But I think that um, I have to sometimes set aside and not to be not to I have to set aside my parent role to give it to you in an honest way. And maybe that's not even setting aside my parent role to give it to you the honest way. Maybe that is just my role as being a parent, to giving you things that you're asking me for and being honest about what it is that you're asking me and to give it to you in a quality manner, but still answering your question. As a hairstylist and as a business woman, as an entrepreneur, I think that role I'm not as strong in that role, I think, sometimes as I would like to be. I think that I'm learning. I think that sometimes I'm a little behind the curve in learning to be a strong entrepreneur. But I also think that I shouldn't say stuff like that because people have a tendency that how you feel about yourself is how they then tend to feel about you.
I agree with that.
And so sometimes that's why you have to be very careful about the things that you say, whether you're sending it in a negative connotation or you're just saying in general, because people will take your words and twist them. And although you may not have meant it that way, but they don't have faith in you based on something that you said, and that's not really how you meant it. So you do have to be careful that even though, like, even with me saying I'm not as strong as I would like to be as an entrepreneur, I am an entrepreneur and I have been running a business as an entrepreneur for 14 years now. I still think that people can still be better than they are when it comes to, you can always be better in whatever role that it is that you are feeling at that particular moment. But that is just one that I feel like I can be better in. And but I think that how it affects how other people see you, I think that it's the confidence that you have. If you speak like you, and not really fake it till you make it, even though I've seen people fake it till they make it and really like fake it till they make it. But it's not really the fakeness that got them far. It's the confidence that they had in faking it. They made you believe that everything about what they were saying or doing, they knew how to do. And no matter what I or anybody else thought about it at the end, it was like, well, it was believable because they had all the confidence in the world. So you almost let go of whatever it was that they said or they did because they did it all with so much confidence. So I think that it's the confidence that really is what carries people and makes people believe in you, and not necessarily the role perhaps that you played. If you can stand behind what you say and not waver on what you say or do, then I think that's what carries you. But we do have some comments. Kara says, I'm afraid to answer, but I really want to be honest. Amy says, my role is a motivator. I encourage and build confidence in others. Okay. Well, Kara, I mean, if you want to say and be honest, then go right ahead. But I don't want to push you. So if it's something you're not ready to say, then that's fine. But if you are, then that's fine too. But is there anybody else who would like to? How would you define your role in life, and how do you think that role affects how others see you? What about you? What do you think? So Amy says my role is a motivator. I encourage, and I can appreciate that too, because there's sometimes when I wanted to do something. I wasn't really kind of for sure about how I wanted to handle it. If I thought if I could do it, and then he's like, just try it or do it or go forth with it. Even when I opened up my first salon, and when I was talking to her about it, and she was like, okay, go ahead. And I mean, she's the reason why I really like kind of stepped out there and went on and got it, because I wasn't for sure, and she motivated me and gave me the push that I needed to go ahead and follow through with getting it.
I agree. I feel like she's a good motivator. I'm trying to think. I think I kind of agree with you. So I feel like I have a lot of roles in life, and each role requires me to be stronger in certain skills that I have. And I think in all my positions, one skill that I think I exemplify the most, the most, I think would be being supportive and being a good friend and being real. Like, for example, in my RA position, it's been times where I've had to be straight up with residents and like, if you keep doing this, you're not gonna make it in life, and just being straight up and being honest. And even in my APB position, I found myself also being quite blunt and honest. And I feel like a lot of my positions, even being a daughter, being a friend, I guess you could say I'm a mentor, I guess being an RA, and just being a staff member, like I found myself being very honest. And I think, how do you think that role affects how, I think others see that as, I think that's good, because not a lot of people I feel like are very honest nowadays, are very genuine, I should say, And it's not like, even okay, sometimes the truth hurts, but when I feel like, granted, the truth hurts, at least I care enough to tell you the truth. Because some people ain't gonna tell you nothing. Just gonna have you out here looking crazy, or just gonna have you continuing to go down a path that they know at the end is not gonna be good. So I feel like I tried my best. Granted, some people don't receive it like that, and that's fine. But at least I feel like I've done my due diligence by saying what I had to say.
Okay. All right. Okay. That was good. So okay, and I think that you find your strengths in the roles that you have to that you fill. Yes. I think that you find your strength in those roles because you will find that you may be a little bit stronger in this area, not so much in this area, maybe a little bit stronger in this area. And I think that if you know yourself well enough, those are the areas that you continue to work in and make yourself stronger and find ways to strengthen yourself in those areas to better the roles that you feel for the people that you fill those roles for. Okay. Tanisha says a helper and a caregiver. And Tanisha, and so how do you feel that role affects how others see you? Or how do you think that role affects how others see you? Do you think people take advantage of you because you are a helper and a caregiver? Do you think that people see you as soft? Do you think that people think that you care too much, or that you help too much, or that you should be a little bit more stern in that in those areas? Or what do you think? And for Amy, how do you think that role affects how others see you? Do other people see you as an encourager and a motivator? And is it reciprocated? The people in your circle, do they motivate you? Even though you're a motivator, do they motivate you? Do they encourage you? Do you feel like it's a shared experience, if you will?
Ooh. Yes, Tasha. Hey, Tasha.
Okay, so Tanisha says, I feel some people see me as caring way too much at times. Kiara says, so what if you do not know your role or place?
I definitely felt that.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that. And then Natasha says, growing up, my maturity level has never met. That's your friend? Okay, go ahead. You can read it.
Okay. So growing up, my maturity level has never matched my age. Everyone refers to me as Mama Tosh. I used to hate that nickname as a kid because as you can imagine, no one wants to play with their mom at recess. The older I got, I learned to accept it. It really is who I am. I feel my roles are really divided in two. I am both nurturer and a counselor. I'm the one people. I'm sorry, it's kind of small.
People of all ages.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm the one people of all ages come to with their problems. The friend that would keep it real, and I pride myself on being a people person can trust, or a person people can trust. I'm sorry.
Okay,
awesome. I definitely agree with that, Tasha. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. And then Amy says, no, they do not. Okay, so let's jump back up. And Tanisha, for Tanisha, and so how do you handle that when people say you care way too much? I feel some people see me as caring way too much at times. How do you handle that? How do you respond with that? Because is there any such thing as caring too much? Do you think you can care too much?
No. I don't think, and honestly, at least I feel like a lot of people don't have that one person who cares. Like, I have my friends who reach out here and there. And I get it that sometimes you're busy, but I feel like it's never a such thing as caring too much, because I'm like, you could either care too much or not care at all. And then how would people feel,
Right.
So I feel like it's never such thing as caring too much. And if anybody came to you and was like, oh, you caring too much, then they'd be mad if you didn't check up on them at all. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, so Kiara says, so what if you don't know your role or place? I think that you probably do know your role. I mean, because if you are a parent, you can't help but to know your role. But in that role that you're playing not playing, but feeling as a parent, that is your role and that is your place. But you have to become confident in that role as a parent, because you're not born a parent, you're born a child, and you grow into what it is that you're going you start to take on these roles of like, okay, like you're a nurturer or you're a counselor, or you start to grow into the person basically that you're going to be. And so, but as a parent, um not every parent is a nurturer, not every parent is an encourager, not every parent is a motivator, not every parent is um let me see it, let me kiss it, let me a coddler. Not every parent is that way, but you just have to find the way that you find the role where you fit in, or your place where you fit in, even as a daughter, even as a sister. Sometimes I think that for you, just as my sister, I just think that um you have a tendency to push that aside when it's like when it's like, okay, you're good at this, just push this, just do this, just this. you know you Sometimes I think you have a hard time receiving it. That's what I want to say. You have a hard time receiving what other people see in you. And sometimes, like I just had to tell one of my clients the other day, sometimes all you need to just say is thank you. We as Black women, I think, have a hard time saying thank you. Like, just thank you. And then receiving what it is that somebody says about you. It's like we're so busy trying to get away from what it is that they're saying that we can't receive what it is that they're saying.
And I would say too, at least like growing up, I feel like she's at least for me a role model. I would say a role model to me, because like I never, like I'm an only child, so like when you were there, I feel like you definitely was like taking care of me, and you tried to steer me in the right directions. And I feel like everyone who has someone looking up to them, they always try to motivate them to be better versions of how they are. And I definitely feel like that has been instilled in me through you, at least. So I feel like you're a good role model. And then I have another question, like to add on to this question. At what point was the defining moment in which you felt like this was your role in life?
Oh wow. Okay, so I think that
because it's kind of like what Natasha was saying,
right,
yeah.
like, and that's what I was just getting ready to say too, because I think that she said that she, I mean, but I would like to know, was anyone in her family like a nurturer? Did she feel like she took on that role because that's what somebody was to her, or did it just come natural? Okay, well, I guess I'm asking you, but Natasha, did it just come natural to you to be this way? Or was there a really, I mean, you said that you felt you were this way, as far back as you can remember. And it's funny because, you people tend to put these nicknames on you when you're little, because that's what you display. Because I think that for a long time, weren't you kind of like the mom? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of people, when you are the mature one of the group, that's the name that you tend to take on. And no, you don't, of course you don't want to be the mom of the group, but I think that comes also, like I said, from your parents. It's like, okay, no, nobody goes to the bathroom by themselves. If y'all go together, y'all come back together. You and that's how I was taught. That's how I taught Asia. You go together, you leave together. Nobody gets left behind. If somebody's buying drinks, he buy everybody drinks. So don't nobody get a drink. Nobody is going off. If he don't have enough room for all 10 of y'all, then no nobody go. Like nobody's walking away from the group. Like, we're not doing that. So, but I think that, again, that is how you're raised. That's you're raised to be that way. Right. So and then but
I think everybody should answer that question. So, like, at what point do y'all feel like the role that you all are saying that you all take on, or not, I'm sorry, let me go to the question. Oh yeah, so your role in life, at what point was a defining moment in which you was like, this is like my role in life? And I feel like for me, like you said, kind of like going to college and seeing different people, like realizing that everybody isn't like you. Right. And I knew, like, my freshman year, because of so many people who took me under their wing my freshman year and instilled in me, good qualities and, steered me in the right direction, I definitely wanted to be that for someone else during my college career. So I think that was a good defining moment for me, was my freshman year, when I saw that it's a lot of people out here who really do care about other people, who really want to see other people do good. Was my moment, and I just wanted to be. And I feel like the only way for me to make sure that people around me are being successful is being honest.
Oh gosh.
Being honest and being real. Kind of like you said. And I feel like for me, that was instilled in me growing up. My mother was very honest about a lot of things, very real. And I definitely had a lot of people in my family look like making sure that I was where I needed to be and had the things that I needed to have as far as like knowledge and things of that nature. So
because early on, and this is what I always said to Asia, like whatever it is, I don't know how to scroll down. Oh, there we go. Whatever it is that you're going to be, make sure you're the best at it, and don't ever let anybody beat you to tell me something about you, because I feel like I have an open door policy. I may not like it, I may be mad about it, but don't let anybody have one up on you. Don't let anybody hold anything against you or have something over your head. So if you come to me, you tell me first, so that if they try to come tell me, I can say, I already know. Because I think it's silly that for somebody to be in a position to tell me something about you that you could tell me yourself. And so I always instilled in her to be honest. Don't be a liar, because I don't ever want to have to wonder if you're lying. Excuse me. If you're lying about something, and I'm trying to defend you and defend your honor, and I'm not really for sure if I'm doing the right thing or not, because over the years you've been a liar. Like my heart just would not have been able to withstand having a child that was a liar. I couldn't. So I instilled in her, tell the truth. Like, just tell the truth and I'll get over it. But at least I know that what you said was the truth, and I don't have to wonder whether or not you lied or not. Like, that's just too much. That's just too much. So I just feel like every parent, as a parent, that is the one thing that it would just make your life so much easier. And especially when your children understand, like, okay, I may not like the truth. I may not even like what you did, but if you have to tell me the truth, because it only works. And you telling the truth doesn't mean that you still don't get in trouble. Because I think that because I had to make sure Asia understood that too, because she would be like, but I told the truth. Yes, you did tell the truth, but the truth does not mean you still don't get in trouble. The truth is that you told me the truth, and there's still a consequence from what you did. Like, I'm glad that you told me the truth, but there's still a consequence behind it. So telling the truth doesn't mean you're automatic. And sometimes it means, okay, good, I'm glad you told me the truth. There isn't a consequence, but what did you learn from it? It's a learning experience at that point, but some things do warrant a punishment, and then some things warrant you learning from that experience. What did you learn? And then some things warrant, okay, what do you think your punishment should be? Excuse me, why are you looking like that?
Because I was like, what question?
We're still on the same one. Sorry. We're still on the same question. All right. Okay. So, hey, Geraldine, thanks for joining. We have to go back up. Amy says she makes sure everybody is okay. That's Kiara. Natasha said that is so true. Kiara goes back down and says, hey, Kiara says we can't see you. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I moved that. Okay, so yes, I cleared that. And then Natasha says, it has always been natural. My grandfather says I'm before my time, or that I have been here before. I am also the oldest, so I have always had a motherly quality about me, but it was until I accepted that I really knew how to use it. Okay, awesome. And then Kiara says, the truth is supposed to set me free.
Oh, wait.
What do you mean? The truth is supposed to set me free. What do you mean? It's not necessarily it's supposed to set you free, but I think that when you sit on
Can I say something?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I feel like, okay, so something that I always thought, like, well, not thought,
I
but
don't
even
want to say
still
not
do.
set you free, but
I feel like at least my mother and my parents like telling the truth, because people around, okay, so people in my age group can't tell me things because they haven't been here before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you could say, for instance, like you did something. Like, this is extreme. I can't even find an example. I'm bad at giving examples in the spirit of the moment. But anyway, say for instance you did something and now you need advice on something that you did, but you're not being honest about it with your parents. I feel like my friends can't help me because they haven't really experienced life in order to help me with that. So if I'm being honest with my mother or my father, whoever, they're able, granted, like you said, like what you might have said might not have been cool or what you did or whatever, but at least now I can guide you in the right direction on how to, whatever you said, just talk about it and have some real sound information coming from what I said. Right. I know that was real weird, probably what I just said. I hope that made sense.
No, I totally get it. So basically what she's saying is, although it may seem weird for you to be honest with your parents, let's just say, for instance, if we just pick an example, if we say, okay, let's just say you are no longer a virgin, let's say that. And you go to your mother and you tell her that you're no longer a virgin.
Your friends first. If you go to your friends first, you're like, girl, what should I do? And they're like, girl, nothing, you okay? Then you tell your mom, was like, well, did you go get tested? Did you make sure you use the condom? Like, stuff like that.
Right.
Like,
So it's like your friends, because they're sitting in the same position that you're sitting in, give you
Gen Z information.
Right. They give you surface information. Whereas if you were to take that same information and give it to a parent who has an open door policy, and even though your parent may not like the fact that you are no longer a virgin, then it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not excited that that you have given up your virginity. I'm not excited about that, but I'm glad that you came to me. So now that I can guide you in a sound direction, and I could give you more than just like, girl, you okay? Oh, that's nothing. You probably got a yeast infection, or you probably just, oh, girl, you probably allergic to the condom. Whatever the case may be, if you even use the condom, but to give you more information, because I'm older. You have never been 47. I have been 21. I have had experiences. I have had a lot of life, 47 years worth of life I have lived. And a lot of those many, many years have been built on experiences. Okay. So I don't think that, and even if you don't have that type of relationship with your parent, I do think that it's important that you find somebody that you do have that relationship with, who can give you sound, true, honest advice and guidance about things that you can that is real, true, and honest. Because I don't always think that you taking things to your friends that they one, always know what to do, and two, are going to be helpful to you. So I mean, I know this is kind of still off, but we're still talking about levels of where you are being a nurturer, being a caregiver, or being I think it kind of twisted off into something else and kind of went left, but we're gonna wrap this up in just a second. Kara, so yeah, the truth is supposed to set me free. What do you mean? Because I think that when you are honest about things, people don't have to question whether what you're saying, like, is that the whole truth, or was a little bit of it left out, or trying to figure out, because the truth of the matter is, if you tell somebody a story and if you continue to have a conversation with the person, it's going to be obvious. It's going to be obvious that some parts of the story is missing, or the truth is missing, or something is missing. Because if you continue to ask a person a question and it seems like you're beating around the bush to come to it, something is not right about what you initially said. So therefore, it's going to come out. So I just feel like if you're honest about it in the beginning, in the initial beginning, then it cuts out all of the foolishness to me.
I agree. Do you want to ask one more question?
Cuts out all the foolishness. Okay, so you next.
Okay.
But thank you all for that. I really appreciate that. Was good. That was good. I really appreciate you all for that. And I will say, just continue. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Continue to fulfill your roles, because people need the nurturers, people need the moms, people need the caregivers, people need the listeners, people need true, honest people, genuine, who are filling these roles, because it's very hard to find genuine people who really care, who are willing to be honest with you and share honest information and be a friend enough to tell you things that are that will help you. They're so just continue to be awesome and in the role that you're filling, and the role that God has guided you to be in and to fill. Okay.
Period. Poo.
Right. Okay. So Natasha says, if you want people to judge you by the content of your character, then you need to make sure your character is together. Period. Right.
All right.
Sounds
I'm
good to
torn
me.
between 7 and 8, Mom. Which one should I do?
First of all, I just spelled that all wrong. Well, that's up to you. Which one do you want to do?
Okay, since we're going to the last question, I'll spice it up a little bit. Okay, so how do you know if your relationship is based solely on sex?
I don't know. Hey.
From the audience, what y'all got to say?
Okay.
I don't know either. I ain't never been in a relationship. I don't know nothing about that.
Wow. Okay. Okay, well, you need to what do you think? What do you think?
How do you know if your relationship is based solely on sex? When that's all y'all do, literally. If y'all don't talk, if y'all don't hang out, if all you are is a booty call both ways, that's how you know. Like, that was very serious.
Well, okay, so this is not the time to get quiet. Maybe we should have started off with this question first. I don't
Let me share this real quick. Hold on, go ahead.
Yes. So do I have any takers on this question? How do you know if your relationship is based solely on sex? I think that, to be honest, I believe that if you, yes, what you said. Yes, what you said, but I also believe if you all fuss and argue and can't be around, and like the first 30-40 minutes of you all being together, you're arguing and fussing, and then
How
that's
do you
the
even
really
get to sex at that point?
Because that's just how some people just operate. I think that some people just operate that way. It's like, okay, well, this is the one thing that we do good, so let's do this, and then all the rest of the time we're fussing, arguing, and fighting, and fussing, arguing, and fighting, and fussing.
So, do you think people actually get in relationships that are solely based on that?
I don't think it would be a relationship. I don't think that it could be defined as a relationship. I think that people get into situationships where it's solely that. But then my thing is, I don't um I don't think that, first of all, I don't think that you could constantly, people say you can, but I just don't think you can constantly have sex with somebody and you don't have any feelings for them. Like, I don't think that's possible, even though people say you can. I don't know how, because I just feel like the more you lay out with somebody, at some point you're going to have some type of feelings for them. And then if you don't, then I just think that you're just weird and disgusting. Like, how could you why would you want to continue to share a space, a bed, or anything else with somebody that you don't even care anything about? I mean, I don't, that's just weird to me. But we do have some comments. If I only hit you up for that purpose, that Kara said that. She also says, if I don't send good morning, beautiful texts, Laugh out loud. Amy says, you just answered the question, Asia. Kiara says, if we only see each other after one, oh my gosh. She also says, if we weren't friends first before the sex. Kiana says, I agree with Asia. Kiara says, if you got to be intoxicated to be around each other. Natasha says, that's what you call a toxic relationship. Mama left out. Yeah, that's how I feel. Kiara says, yes, I've been a connoisseur. I was going to say something else. Yes, I have been a connoisseur of just sex and not no feelings. It's easy. Okay. Okay. You Amy says you can have sex with no feelings. Men do it all the time.
Sadly.
I just
Yeah, dogs.
I mean, okay, one time. Maybe one time.
I know people
who do it multiple time and time and time
because
and time
see,
again.
This is the thing. This is the game. This is the game here. I'm about to get you hip.
Okay.
I'm about to get y'all hip.
Okay.
I feel like some people, if that's what you're solely doing, then you have someone else who's solely fulfilling your emotional needs.
Is it an emotional need?
No. I'm saying like you might have someone who you will go to for your sexual desires. Then you might have someone who takes you out to eat. Then you might have somebody.
That's not an emotion.
My stomach.
That's
playing my emotions and giving me nothing to eat, like my daddy said. Playing my emotions. What's going on?
I feel this, but I don't.
Or you can have someone who take you to work. There's different stuff that you can have different people for. I'm not like that, thank God. But I'm just saying. Men definitely have stuff like that. Men have people they call who they know a girl gonna cook for them. They call her. Guys know people who she gonna have sex with me, so I'm gonna call her. I got girls who gonna do my homework, so I'm gonna call her. Dudes do stuff like that all the time. So I agree, Graham.
But how okay. Perhaps, and I'm not saying that it does not exist. I'm sure that it does exist. But I think that is then in turn how people get hurt, because obviously you know that women are way more attached and way more oh, he's calling me because he likes me and not necessarily we misconstrue. I don't like this word, but misconstrue.
Why?
Because I never say it right. I never feel like I'm saying it right. Things that are really very surface, and we make them into something that they're really not.
I agree. That happens.
Even down to a person saying hi, and if he's just like, "Hey, how are you?" It's like, "Oh my gosh, she's interested." He's like, "It's like, no, he was just saying hi." Like, don't, just because he said it nice and sweet and all that doesn't mean that he was flirting with you. I think that sometimes we are misguided by the tone of a person's voice or their actions, and then we get kind of real into something that's not there. So, I think that men sometimes don't, or is it us? Or are we too vulnerable to this? Or do you think that we're not hard enough? Or do we put our feelings out there way too soon? Or should we be savages? Should we just like, I just don't, I would never teach my daughter to be that way.
Well, unless she deserves it. But I mean, some guys actually do deserve it, and women will team up and be like, "Let's dog them, period, sis." But I just feel like, okay, I agree. Some women who have issues with love already, of course, there's gonna be a problem. A hey might really take them on a ride, like, oh my God, like, you really feeling me? Like, he said hi with 2 eyes, like, oh my God, like, really, like, sometimes it might be that case, but then, I don't know. Then again, you just, when you've been, I don't want to say been in different relationships with multiple people, but just experiencing different men, experiencing, if you're a man, experiencing different women, like, you are able to pick up on different patterns. You are able to pick up on different vibes of people. You were able to tell, like, oh yeah, he might be trying to use me, or oh yeah, she might be just trying to use my credit card to buy her some food. You know what I'm saying? You just pick up on stuff like that. So,
but okay, all right. So we do have a couple of comments. So if you're just now joining us, I really appreciate you joining. Continue to share. The question at hand was, Well, how do you know if your relationship is based solely on sex? We do have some comments. No, multiple times, same person. Kiara. Amy says, then he's a user. Kiara also says, or are you the user? And Rosalind says, I hate I missed the beginning and the subject. Rosalind also says, sound like y'all talking about talking about me. Amy says, referring to Asia's comment, then he's a user. Well,
Sometimes it is that. Sometimes guys just do want that. And I guess it is. If you guys are on common terms, like we're just going to have sex and that's it. I can't say either one of y'all use it if y'all have come to agreements that this is what we're going to do. It's something like you said, situationships. That's the thing. People do that.
So how does this conversation start? How do you have it? How do you say this? How do you have this? How do you? So this is the situation. We're just going to be having sex, and that's it. And
so say for instance, y'all had sex one time, right? And y'all both like, okay, we're not really trying to be in a relationship, but that was cool. I wouldn't mind doing that again. Like, cool. I don't mind doing that again.
I guess maybe we should stick to the question. Which the question is, how do you know if your relationship is based solely on sex? Okay, Natasha says, go ahead.
I think women today are more.
I'll put it up there. Okay. Sorry. Okay. There you go.
I think women today are more possessive than anything. They claim they don't have feelings, but are quick to try and fight a man, boy, for messing with another girl. That I don't want you, but no one else can have you mentality. It's real ghetto out here. Woo, child. That's what I'm saying.
So right, so okay, so I think we're touching on a couple of different things here. We're touching on how do you know that if your relationship is based solely on sex. I really can't define it as a relationship if it's built solely on sex. I define that as a situationship. I define that as a sexiship. I don't know.
Could it be appropriate though?
To be in a relationship, I don't
to
think
have a relationship based solely on sex. Could that be appropriate in some cases?
No, I think that if you have, this is your boyfriend, you have made a determination, this is your boyfriend, you are in a relationship, defined relationship, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. Let's take it a step further and say you all live together, okay? You're sharing the same space. And y'all fussing and arguing all the time, but that's what y'all do best. I think that that's a problem.
I agree.
I think that is really a problem, and that your relationship is based solely on sex, and you probably should not be with that person because you have nothing else in common. And they probably, or if you or them are probably getting your emotional needs met somewhere else because they're not nurturing, they're not taking care of your heart. And that's my biggest thing. That's what I always tell you, that when you're with somebody, you will know that that person is for you because your heart will be taken care of. It's like, okay, when you're sleeping, did this person bring you a blanket and put a blanket over you? When you wake up, does this person say, good morning or good afternoon, or, did you sleep well? Or is this person concerned, did you eat today? Not to be confused with somebody who's just being obsessive with you or just trying to be possessive of you, but genuinely concerned, and you could differentiate between the two. Okay. So we do have some comments. Kiara says, you tell him straight up, I'll call you when I need it. This is what it is. Like it or don't. One man is really going to turn down sex. No man, I don't think. No, it's not appropriate. That's how you get labeled.
I hope not.
It's not appropriate to be just in a sex shoot with somebody.
Being in college, I see this too often, and it's just like, to me, it doesn't always have to be like y'all arguing all the time, and the only time y'all get along is when y'all doing this activity. Sometimes, like I said, it's solely an agreement. Like, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna be exclusive with me. I'm gonna be exclusive with you. But I still might be out here dating. I still might be out here meeting up with different people, but I'm not gonna have sex with them because that's what I have you for. And then if I feel like, oh yeah, this guy over here, the one I went on a date with, is actually someone I'm feeling, and I might want to be in a relationship with him, then we cutting ties over here with this one activity. Now that's ghetto. I agree, Tasha. That's real ghetto. But sometimes that's how people operate. Because I feel like you said, sex can sometimes make you feel like you're connected with this person when really that's not the case. So sometimes you might need to have sex with one person just to see like it's other people. I don't know. It sounded confusing just coming out of my mouth. I don't know why people do this.
Okay, Kara says label, but why can't women just have sex that they enjoy like men? Well, you know what? And that when I was in college, that was my thought. You know, you were labeled as a whore or a slut or whatever if you had sex with different guys. But I don't like the fact, and even though it's a double standard, I don't like the fact that a female is labeled as a hoe or a slut or whatever if she enjoys sex. And maybe it's not with one person. I feel like if she's protecting herself and she knows what she's going into it for or with or whatever, then I mean that's on you, because to me it's no different than a guy doing the same thing. He can have multiple sex partners, and it is a double standard, and I don't like that, but it is what it is. That you would be labeled as such. um I personally would not want that to be a situation for my daughter, that she's having multiple sexual partners. But if that's what you like and that's what you enjoy, then I feel like you do what you do. It's no different than you like an ice cream and you have it every day, like to me. But and you like different kinds, and you're not just settled on one flavor. You know, so that's your choice. But I'm just saying. But what? Okay, what else do you all think? How do you know? I don't think that anybody really. Well, y'all did answer the question. How do you know if your relationship is based solely on sex? And what do you do? What do you do? Do you get out of it? Do you try to change it? What do you do?
I mean, if it's toxic, like you say, y'all arguing all the time, it's no point of staying. Sometimes, like you said, like if you continue to have sex with someone, you eventually start having feelings. Even though you might go into it thinking like, "Oh, we're just gonna have sex," you actually might start developing feelings for somebody and want to develop into something else.
And then what if that person is like, no, like I'm not that I don't want a relationship with you.
Well, you came into it just having sex, so I guess you just gotta leave it. Just have sex.
This is too much. This is too much. Okay.
The key is it only.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
The key is it only works if you have multiple people. If the guy you have sex with is the only guy, then it gets complicated.
You agree?
If she's referring to what I had said earlier, yes. Like, cause like you tell me, like sometimes like when you continue to have sex with a person, like him saying, "Hey," turns into, "Oh my God, he's feeling me," or he said, "Hey," he texts me first, when really he's just saying, "Hey," to follow up, were you trying to come through? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes like I don't know. I feel because like it made sense in my head when I said it, but now that I'm saying it out loud, it's not making sense. Like in my head, I'm like, yes, have sex with a person. I'm not saying for me, but just in general, like have sex with one person. So like I don't know. It's making sense in my head when I'm saying it, it's not making sense.
I think that sex. Let me just be honest.
Because if you don't have sex at all, then you won't have this problem.
Right. I think that sex complicates things. I think that sex complicates things, and I think that when you start adding in sex into the equation, it just becomes more and more complicated. And whether you're having sex with one person or multiple people, it is a complicated situation, because I always feel and I always say that even if you're having sex with one person, you still are taking on the spirits. I believe in spirits. I think that you will take on the spirits of people. And if you're having sex with multiple people, then you're taking on their spirits, and the people that they slept with, their spirits, and anything that's up on them, you're taking that in, because you are sharing body fluids, whether it's through sweat, whether it's through, if you're not having protected sex with this person, you are still sharing body fluids, emotions, feelings, and all of that is being captivated right there. And it's just very hot.
That sounds so intense, Lord. If people don't even think about all that, people don't have a good time.
Right. And and then so it's more than just sex, and I just think that sometimes sex complicates things, and it's not just sex, it's more, it's not just the surface of sex. I think it's just more to it, and then the type of sex that you're having. I think that that's what intensifies it too. I'm sorry, I'm just saying, like, let's just be honest, and we're going to talk about it. Let's just be honest. It's the type of sex and the intensity of it, and then especially if you're enjoying it. So it's hard to walk away from someone who has made you feel. It's almost like how people say with people with drug addicts, it's like they're still chasing that first high. It's like I'm still chasing that feeling that you gave me. So if you're still always chasing that feeling, having multiple partners can become
toxic.
Yes, and very disheartening, because you're always looking for that one time when you felt like this, and then you're chasing that feeling.
I know what I was trying to say. Okay, I'm trying one more time.
Okay.
When you only have one partner that you're having sex with, solely having sex with, you are able to differentiate what other guys are really wanting from you, I feel like. So if a lot of the times most guys just want to have sex with you. So if you're only having sex with one person, you're able to read through that and be like, I don't really want him. And then when a guy comes along who's actually really interested in you, you are able to see that. And some women are like that too. Like, it might be a guy who's really interested in them, and the first thing that she want to do is have sex with him. But I feel like if you're having sex with somebody else, that's not the first thing that you're looking for. You're actually able to get to know somebody. Now that's a little backwards when you could just not have sex at all. But sometimes that's the case, I feel like.
Okay. All right. Okay. So okay, Natasha says, I don't know if we okay, let me go back up. We do have some comments. Okay, so Amy says, as long as y'all have an understanding that y'all's relationship is sexual, then please let that be known up front. Natasha says, I feel like you have to question that part of your relationship at all.
Oh, then if you have to question that part of your relationship.
Oh, at all, then it probably is based a lot on sex. There should be more to the conversation. I agree. Amy says, and don't call me, I'll call you attitude. Kara said yes. And then Natasha said, transference is real. Yes, yes. Kara says, yes, it is, shout. Yes. Kiana says, I agree, Shanika, all that, because eventually you will have feels. It would be a physical thing that sometimes becomes mental. Yes. And I think that that's what some people forget. I think that some people tend to forget that and think that, oh, it's just physical. It's just physical. It's not physical. Because if you have somebody who has been groomed in a sense to and I don't want to sound vulgar, but to make good love to a woman, and he knows how to do it and do it well, and he's very skilled at what he's doing, it no longer becomes physical. It becomes very mental.
It becomes a game. So it becomes a whole bunch of foolery.
And then you looking for him in the daytime with
not at 1 o'clock. Look, I call you at 2 p.m.
You in the daylight with a flashlight looking for him. Like, no.
Home.
Right. Kiana says, sex clouds everything. You don't even get to know a person, just their body, because all you guys are doing is going at it in the bed or wherever y'all doing it. Right. So I think that, we really do need to go back to having conversations, but it's so hard because, everybody wants to text, and you just can't read a person through a text. You can't fully get a full idea or thought about a person through text messaging and all these other ways. I think that you have to sit in front of a person and look them eye to eye to get a full idea of what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with. But I know we kind of went off on kind of past that question, but it was good dialogue either way. But I just really want you all to know that it does. I mean, even if you have decided that you're just having a physical, I'm just having sex with this person, it doesn't stay there. It does not stay there. It becomes mental. It becomes very mental because, again, like I said, if this person, or even you, even if you are very skilled at what it is that you're doing, and you mentally get into this person's head, or they mentally get into your head, it becomes a whole nother realm of things. And even though you're like, oh, you've made this agreement with this person, it's only sexual. When you see them with somebody else, or if you see them with other people, you're mad. And it's like, well, why are you mad? Because if this is the what you have agreed to have with this person, you should not be having any feelings. You should not be feeling any kind of way. So when you move from, okay, well, we're just chilling, to now I'm pissed off because I see this person with somebody else, it's no longer physical. It is now mental. It is now mental.
I concur. Oh, I just feel
Yes.
like avoid it if you can, because I feel like it's gonna literally, it's gonna. You think it's like you say it's gonna stop at that? Like y'all gonna agree to just have sex with each other? Y'all gonna continue to have sex with each other? You gonna see him with somebody? You gonna get your feelings hurt, and then now you have to make a executive decision to continue to get your feelings hurt if you see him, or I think it's just a two-way street once you get to the end. Like either you gonna leave or you gonna stay. So
Because I mean, can I mention that, like, not the whole entire situation?
who on here?
Well, no, just the situation that you had, and I had to explain some things to you.
Sure.
Like, okay, I was just saying that I had to explain, like, because you were feeling a little kind of way, and I was like, but why are you mad?
Okay, yeah, you can share.
Okay, I mean, I won't tell the whole. I would just say that part. Just that. That's all I really wanted to say, was that we had to get your feelings in perspective, because what was explained to you was like, this is what it is. And then when you explained it to me in the exact words that this person said, I had to then turn around and say, so why are you upset? Like, but your friends, and that's the thing that I'm saying.
I remember this. I think I know what you're talking about.
Her friends beefed her up and basically was like, you should be mad. You should feel some kind of way. Why are you not upset? You should. And then when she explained the situation to me, I was like,
explain that. We moved on past this.
Oh well, no, I mean, I won't get into that. But when you explained it to me, I said, why are you mad? Like he said what he said,
and it's people like that, and he one of those type of people that would just continue to make you. He's one of them people that would not even just sexually, but just make you feel good as a person. Like,
right?
You know, like, did you eat today? Like, you really care. Who's on me? Like, he's one of those people. He will text you, make sure that you find stuff like that. So it's just like, those are dangerous people. No, those are the people you need to stay away from.
Right, because that's what I'm saying. Because those types of people have been groomed, and not on purpose, but because they have manners. Because their parents have groomed them to be like, okay, if you're in a relationship with someone, or just in general, if they have sisters, if he is the only boy amongst sisters, and his parents have taught him, like, you take care of your sisters, especially if he's the oldest. You take care of your sisters. You make sure your sisters have eaten. Your sisters eat before you, or whatever the case may be. And then so he's been groomed to know how to take care of a woman. So you misunderstand his manners for him really liking you, and that's not the case. And then your feelings get hurt when you find out he may be doing the same thing that he was doing with you with somebody else. And it's like, well, what are you mad for? Because they already explained to you what it is. So you can't be mad. And you allowed yourself to kind of get into that. So we just have to be a little bit more mindful, and not allow yourself to get into situations that will cause you to have heartache. And we ran way over into like 8:45. Anyway, to cause you to have heartaches at the end. Okay. And I definitely do not want you all to have heartaches throughout your dating experiences and things like that. It should be very easy, and you shouldn't have to experience hurts and pains and things like this. And when you join conversations like this, that people can kind of help you through and talk about it. And you can hear it from different perspectives. You can hear it from a 47-year-old perspective and a 21-year-old college student perspective. And then there's many ages of our viewers up here, and you can hear it all from them. And I really appreciate you all tuning in. This was good conversation. I think it was so good. What do you think? Thank you for joining.
Of course.
Yes, thank you. You made it
quarantining and chilling.
Yes, you made it very easy for me. Well, guys, do you all have any more comments, questions? that you all would like to talk about before we get off of here? We have went up to 8:45. I really thank you all for tuning in and rocking with us, of course. Do you have any other questions? And we did have some new guests. So thank you all for joining us. Please make sure you catch us again next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Will be back. Then maybe Asia can maybe sit in with us again. But we'll be back next Tuesday at 7. You can catch us here. And if there are no more questions and nothing else, I think not. So all right. So make sure you all continue to share the page and tune in. Oh, is somebody else? We have a comment? Mm-hmm. Oh, Kiara. Kiara says, for me, just sex was easier. For me, being in a relationship is too much work and too draining, depressing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I mean, some relationships, let me just say, some relationships are draining and can be too much. And I don't think that being in a relationship should be draining or too much work. I don't think. I mean, obviously, I do think. Okay, I mean, well, we don't. If you have more to say, it's fine. Do you have somewhere to go?
Downstairs or something.
I mean, because usually Will has to go, but I don't have anything to do, so we can still talk if you all want to talk. If you all are willing to talk, now we're not going to stay up here and it's just going to be me and Asia talking. If y'all, because we have like two more we had questions.
We asked 3 out of 8 questions.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh, so listen. If you all want to talk, if y'all want to keep going, yes, give me a thumbs up or yes or something. All right, I'm gonna give y'all count down 60 seconds. So by 8:47. Do y'all want to keep going? Thumbs up, yes, or something. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
Guess that was a no.
I guess so.
I don't know what y'all want to talk about.
I still have a page of questions. I mean, this. So Asia said we only hit like 3, but I need to know if you all want to stay up here and continue to talk or no.
It hurts.
What? I don't. Oh, because it's on. Okay, so yeah, I need. Oh, so I don't see that on here, huh?
I see it though.
Oh, how many people?
Just be cute.
Oh. So yeah, on here where I'm looking, you all have to just type in yes because I can't see your comments. But let me answer Kiara's comment. I do think that some relationships are very toxic.
I'm so scared.
Some relationships are toxic and draining, and I think that you have to know when it's time to let go and time to walk away. And it can be too much work. But this is what I was going to say. All relationships, all marriages require work. So don't think going into a relationship and going into a marriage does not cause work, but it's the kind of work that you're putting in. Is it the work that are helping you all as a couple and you all both are putting in the work? Or do you feel like you're doing all the work and you're putting in, and your emotional love tank or your emotional tank is being emptied and then there's nobody there to fill it up? Because then there's the difference. If you constantly, it's like a car. You're just like a car. You're running, you're going, and you're running out of fuel. You're running out of emotional fuel. And then there comes a time for you to get refueled. but then there's nobody there to refuel you. But you're refueling everybody. You're giving to the kids, you're giving to the relationship, you're giving to the spouse or the boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. You're filling them, but nobody is refilling you. So you're constantly refilling them, and nobody's refilling you. That's when you know that it's not good. It's just not. It's not a good place to be in. I know. So. Okay, that was like 3 minutes. So she was the only person because we could call you on the phone, right? Right. Um, do you want to do one more question, or is it?
What question would it? I guess we might as well go to 9 o'clock.
Okay, 9 o'clock, and we're cutting it off. All right. So this is our next topic. Things are very uncertain. Businesses are closing, schools are closed, people are being laid off, routine appointments are being canceled, and day-to-day life as we have known it is changing. I have found myself doing more self-reflecting and thinking about my life and others around me and have come to this question. What is the best part of being you? That was not supposed to be a dead moment. What is the best part of being you?
The best part of being me? I feel like I try to be positive in terrible situations. I try to be positive and I don't say uplift, but just try to be positive. I try not to let negative moments be negative moments.
And why is that?
Because I don't like being sad. I like laughing and being happy.
Okay. And why? Why do you like being?
Because who wants to be sad?
I think there are some people who live
like
to be.
sad.
I don't need, but there are some people I think that live to be that way.
I need to enjoy life all the time. I always try to find solutions to problems. I feel like I do that in everything that I do. Try to process and like, what can we do? What can we do?
Yeah. What is the best part of being you? I think the best part of being me is, I mean, just like I think that you and I are so much alike. But I think the best part of being me is that I just, if I can change it, I would do my best to change it. But if I can't change it, then I don't worry about it, because I just feel like you can't worry about spilt milk. It's either get it up or don't worry about it. Like, it's nothing you can do. Um, but I think that so often people spend a lot of time worrying about things, and I'm guilty of it, of things that they can't change. You can't change how somebody feels about you. You can't change how people view you. You can't change what people think that they know about you. You can only be the best version of you that you can be, and the best you. And I think that the best part of being you is just who you are. Like, there is no other you. You are the original. Nobody can be, you cannot be duplicated. There will be no photocopy of you, none of that. Even down to your children. They are still who they are, and you have instilled things in them, and you will probably see things that you have instilled in them that definitely have come from you in them, but they are still versions of themselves. So I think the best part of me is that I always try, after I finish, and I realize this about myself, is like after I'm done talking shit about stuff, like after I'm done talking shit about it, then I come to my natural senses and like, okay, so now after I'm done mad and I'm talking shit, this is what I would do, and who the hell, after I'm done raising hell, then I'm like, okay.
After hours. Sorry.
So then, so then, and I think that I'm with that. I'm like that with you when you tell me something, and I'm like, hell no, do I got to come up there and do whatever? whatever. So, and then I come to my senses and I'm like, okay,
I'm like, no, don't
so
even worry about it.
and then then it's like, okay, so what needs to be done? What happened? What was said? Are you sure you took it that way? The way that this, you took it the way that they said it. Was it another way? Well, tell me the full conversation. Like what happened? Let's walk and talk through this. So,
Yes. I feel like I do a lot of self reflecting too. I try to.
well, and I think that about self reflection, I think that I've always felt this, not always, but as long as I can remember, I always, if you check yourself, you never have to worry about anybody else checking you because you've done enough self reflecting that you know when you're being an ass. You know when you're being nice, nasty. You
So when
know.
people call you, I don't know what you say. Like I know. People be trying out me. I'm like, that was intentional.
Right. I mean, it's like you are not saying anything to me that I don't already know, and because I sometimes I beat people to the point. Yes, I know I'm being nice, nasty. That was my intent to be that way. So don't say anything about it because I'm already telling you that's what I'm being that way. I intended for it to cut deep, and if you could bleed, I want you to bleed.
I'm sorry for all the after hour viewers. I don't know who this person is.
I don't. I'm not gonna lie, but Kara says I haven't figured that out yet. She also says, and that's my problem. I want people to like me, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Amy says the best part of being me is self-reflection.
I feel like, for me personally, I feel like don't go through the world being just a terrible person. But at the same time, you can't be worried about what people think about you either. Because for me personally, like, I feel like I have a good sense of who I am. And based off the people around me, like, I feel like I have a good idea of the person that I come off to be. So, like, I really don't, maybe this sounds bad, but I don't really care what people think about me because I know what I've done. I know what I do. I know how I treat people. I know how I act. So I don't really care.
Yeah, I think that I'm getting to the point of not caring what people think about me. Um, I am definitely who I am, and people know who I am. What I'm working on right now, I think for me is being a better communicator because I think that sometimes when I communicate, just like I was just saying, when I communicate, it's not effective sometimes. Um, I'm everybody like the book that I'm reading. It says everybody communicates, but few connect. Like I want to make that connection with people. I think that sometimes I say a lot of things, but I'm not making a connection. And I don't want to be that type of person. I want to be able to add value. I want to be able to connect with people in knowing my audience and what it is that I'm saying. So even when I'm at work, I want to be able to connect with my clients. When I'm up here, I want to be able to connect with the people that I'm speaking to because everybody is from all different walks of life and you have all types of people here, but I want to be able to connect and and we have a feeling like connect with everybody in some way, shape, or form. I don't want to be just up here talking and then I never make a connection with anybody because
Right.
it's a waste. So I think that for me, excuse me, also the best part of being me is understanding who I am and the areas in which I will want to become stronger.
Yeah.
Not necessarily better, but stronger in those areas.
Well, those synonyms. Okay. Oh, that's not synonyms.
Better and stronger?
Okay, maybe not.
Oh,
I think okay, whatever. I concur. Maybe it
okay.
should be both. Both of them.
Amy says, I could care less if anyone like me. It's about self love.
Period, Grams.
Anybody else? Anybody else? We're 2 minutes away.
Yeah, I mean, don't be a jerk all your life, you know.
No, because I don't like, I mean, and that's the thing too. I'm always like, it's like I can deal with nice and I can deal with nasty, but nice, nasty, like I can be very nice, nasty. I can be nice, nasty, but um, and if that's the way you're going to be, then just be that way. Like
I don't know. I try not to get nasty because I feel like if I get nasty, it's nothing in between. It's just either I'm gonna be nice, I ain't being nice nasty. I said what I said. Period.
yeah, I don't, I could just, I could say it in such a way that it's like,
I don't have that talent. I don't have that. So I just
Right.
try to be nice to everybody. Because if I go to 100, I don't know.
At that point, you calling your mama.
Right. Like, you know what? I'm gonna be at 99, but my mama gonna be at 100. So don't call.
So yeah, so I think that again that it is self reflection and just knowing enough about yourself that you can determine the areas in which you need to become stronger. Yeah. All right. So we're at 9 o'clock.
We did it.
Yes, we did. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Again, we rolled it out to 9 o'clock, and I am glad that we had this talk and that we were able to get our questions out. Yes, we're done. We're done. We're done. And I really appreciate everybody's comments. I really appreciate you all sharing. I really appreciate you all just joining us, period. It's always a pleasure to be able to share with you all our thoughts and opinions and having a conversation with you all. I really appreciate Asia. Um, Deciding to be agreeing to be my co-host in Will's place this evening. It made it a lot better. I didn't, thought I was going to have to sit up here and talk to you all alone. So she made it better. We're not having to, for me not to have to sit up here and do that. So I really appreciate you doing that. So continue to send up the hearts. I really like seeing the hearts on Facebook. Send up the hearts, continue to share. I really appreciate it. And it is definitely, it isn't, well, now it's 9:01. So we are going to get out of here and go get us some food and see what the night entails with our quarantine. All right. So thank you all again. Make sure you all join us again next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. We will see you all then. Until then, have a great week, a great weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. All right. Enjoy some concerts and all that on Instagram, workouts and all this stuff. It's a lot of free stuff going on. So take advantage, read some books and all that. And we will see you all next Tuesday. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.